What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We are doing a playthrough today of Pokemon Blue with Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite. The dragon Pokemon. Very slow growth rate dragon Pokemon. Kind of a gruely, grimy playthrough. You're going to see that here in a little bit. While you're here, call to action. Please subscribe. It helps the channel out. Please hit the notification bell. I get videos like this all the time. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I actually have shorts on this channel that I recommend you checking out if you like some just random video games. Some are video playthroughs of other games, some are actually memes. I just get bored and throw them on here. So I haven't done any in about probably a long time, maybe close to a year. But I just started adding some Assassin's Creed stuff. So if you like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I just got back into playing that. Literally the first clip posted about Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the first time I played that game in 2 years. So we get the game started with we got the potion, and then we went to go play in the grass, and we're like, you know what? Give me a pseudo legendary, Mr. Oak. And he's like, well, I'm a professor, but I'll do what I can. So we substituted out Venusaur, and we substituted Dratini. Now, I will say this, this Pokemon is actually made to destroy the 3 starters in this game. Just letting you know that. The 3 starters in this game, this Pokemon is like designed to destroy. Okay, it's just so you're aware. Okay, so our rival gets Charmander. We name our dragon Yoshi because I'm a big Mario fan. And we're going to face Charmander. Now, actually, this is not a first try victory. So if you don't know my methodology here, what I do is I try to at least start off on a good foot. So I try to play out a scenario where I might actually win. So this is actually the second attempt. And I hit one too many Leers the first time, and he outsped, so he knocked us out. But we end up getting the win, and we move on to Bug Forest. And woo, wachoo, and cha-cha. Okay. I hope you like that transition. I actually liked it a lot, and now I'm watching it again as I'm doing the voiceover. It might be a little too much, but if you like it, let me know. If not, I'll stop doing those in the next videos. But here's our stats for Dratini. Now, we are already 7 minutes into this, by the way. Usually Bug Forest is a blitz that we can get through in like a minute. Okay, well, we're 7 minutes, and you're going to see how long it takes to get through Bug Forest because we got to use Wrap, we got to use Leer, we have to go back and heal. It's a long, drawn-out battle that we have to do, so on and so forth. But our hit points for this Pokemon are 41. The attack for this Pokemon is 64. Defense is 45. Special is 50. And speed is 60. I'm sorry, speed is 50 as well. So garbage stats for the most part. Attack's not too horrible for early in the game. But nothing here stands out as over the top great. Special really has no impact at all until we get a special move, which we won't get until Mount Moon. So nothing going on there. Speed is 50, so it's not bad. We actually need to get to a certain speed to have an advantage in an upcoming battle. So yeah, but there's a lot of things about this Pokemon that are good, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. I mean, there's not a lot of things that are good about this Pokemon in general. Just let me be honest about that. There's not a lot of great things. This is probably the most... You're going to see one of the more extensive explanations of a playthrough than I've done in a long time. I think the most extensive I've ever done was probably Ditto, because it's basically all one strategy and you can just show the main battles. But I went through an explanation of why we struggled and how, and you're going to see a little bit of that here. So right now at 8 minutes and 38 seconds, we are still not even through Bug Forest, and we had to go leave and heal and come back. So because we ran out of power points because of Wrap. So again, attack is our best stat. Everything else is meh. Speed is meh. Special is meh. Defense is one of our lowest stats. HP is one of our lowest, so we don't have a lot of things here. But we're gonna go ahead and use Wrap, and this Pokemon gets poisoned way too easy. I think we actually got outsped there by a Weedle. So, but we're outspeeding now, and we get the win. Not a very convincing win, but a win nonetheless. And we go ahead and face our rival. It's 11 minutes and 30 seconds, and we are just facing our rival. We are a little bit levels higher than them, so I waited. And what I feared was that we might not outspeed the Pidgey, but we do. And so as long as we go for Wrap, it cannot attack back unless we miss, like right there, but it only went for Gust. I was worried about Sand Attack. Because Leer is already a, I'm sorry, not Leer, Wrap is an 85% accurate move anyway. So if we get Sand Attack, it just makes that even worse. But we get a pretty convincing win over our rival, and like I said, our rival is actually, this Pokemon is built to beat our rival because of the variety of moves it gets, and we're not weak to anything the rival has. But we move on to Rock's Gym with a Million Light Years trainer. Now, this is actually a pretty difficult fight if you don't manage it correctly. So we go for Wrap. Now what that just showed us is Diglett massively outspeeds us. So we go for Wrap and we get the knockout, but we have way too much health being used up on the first Pokemon, and now our accuracy is trash. So now if we just got a little bit more damage done, if we hit Wrap one more time, we probably could win this battle, but we don't. So we get a loss against the Million Light Years trainer, who tries to tell us we're not ready for Brock, and then we're supposed to beat the crap out of him, like, oh yeah, you are, and we're not. So 16 minutes in, we're only at level 12, and we're going to try this again. And this time I leered. That way we can potentially get, quote, a one-shot, which is actually 4 hits from Wrap, but I don't have to hit Wrap again. And we save ourselves 6 more hit points so that we can last longer in this battle. We leered first, so now we actually should be outspeeding. And because of that, we don't get attacked back. All good, we get the knockout. We beat the junior trainer, the Million Light Years trainer, whatever you want to call him. Now we move on to Brock. Now here's where I made a mistake. We are going into Brock at level 14. Okay, 20 minutes in, by the way, already. Level 14 is not quite the level you need to be at to beat Brock if you want to do this consistently. Brock, the first Pokemon's not an issue, but where level 14 is a problem. First off, level 15 gets you to what's called a damage rounding threshold. It gets you so you do a little bit more damage every time. It rounds over a certain percentage point to the next level. So it might be only doing 1 damage point now. We might be doing 2 once we get to level 15. Okay? That's the first thing. Second, so Geodude's not the issue. You're going to outspeed Geodude. He's a slow Pokemon. So as long as you can leer him 1 or 2 times and then start wrapping, he won't be able to use Defense Curl, and he also won't be able to really attack you back. So he's not the problem. Onix is the problem. So another reason why you want to get to level 15 is either right now we're either speed tied or he's like slightly just ahead of us on speed. At level 15, we actually outspeed Onix. So we can set up a couple leers and then we can just wrap until the battle's over. Right now, he's going first, so he can do Bide, he can do Tackle, he can do Screech, he can lower our defense, which is why this battle ends up being close, but not close enough to get the win. So that's what's going on right now. So he's going first, he's initiating Bide. Now, the cool thing about Bide and Wrap, it only does the first round of damage. So if you do Bide and we do Wrap, it's only going to do like the first Wrap damage, which is like 1 or 2 damage. So it only gave him two damage back. So we do lose, and we have to go out and take a couple minutes and get another level, and then we come back and we're going to face our Brock Wakanda Forever one more time. So we're going to have pretty much same outcome as we did previously. So we're just going to use Wrap until we knock him out. Now we just don't want to miss. That's really what we don't want right now. Don't want to miss. It's not a big deal if we miss on the Onix. He doesn't really have a lot of things that are bad. He doesn't have Defense Curl, but Geodude, we're going to get the knockout pretty handily. We got a little bit more health this time. So we're just going to go for, we missed Wrap actually. We're going to go for Leer, and it's going to it's going to lower his defense. So as long as we have enough hit points for Leer, that's also the other thing. At level 14, you might not have enough hit points to get all the way through. It depends on how much Geodude does Defense Curl. So you might have to spend more power points on Geodude. You might not have enough left over for Onix. Then you got to expend all the Thunder Wave and Leer power points to use Struggle. But because we are outspeeding, we are preventing him right now from doing anything at all. And we just keep going for Leer because we want to get the damage lower. Or his defense lower, so we do a little bit more damage every time. And we just gotta get one more time. Very good. We beat Brock. Wakanda Forever. Not so much today. We beat him, and we are gonna move on to Route 3. But we get a very long win. 26 minutes is how long it took to get through Brock. Now we're gonna go ahead and go through Route 3, and I'm gonna go over the moveset. So we start the game with Wrap and Leer. Wrap is a 15 base power, 85% accurate, normal move. 20 power points. So Wrap is a move where if it's initiated, you do like, it's between 3 and 4 times it hits, but once it started, basically the opposition can't do anything until you're done. So if you outspeed, actually you can continuously use this until you knock the Pokemon out, if you outspeed. Leer lowers the opposition's defense by 1 stage. So this is actually pretty good to Leer first and then do Wrap. And then Thunder Wave is the next one we have after that. So Thunder Wave can paralyze the opposition, making you go first, and then you can use Wrap. So if something outspeeds you, if you Thunder Wave, now you outspeed, and you can use Wrap until you knock them out. So Pretty good movie. It paralyzes the pretty good move, I should say. Paralyzes the opposition. At level 20, we actually get our first badge boosting move, which is Agility. This is a very slow Pokemon, so this makes complete sense for this Pokemon to have Agility, so it can actually outspeed some things. It's very slow. We can carry this through into the game because we're going to get badge boosting move later in the game as well. So Agility is not bad in that regard. It actually, all 4 of these moves work well together, because if you don't outspeed something, you can use Agility. You can use Thunder Wave, then you can boost your own stats to make Wrap more powerful, and then you can use Leer to lower the opponent's defense, and then Wrap knocks it out. So that's what those moves kind of work in conjunction. But there's not a damage dealing move here until you get to level 30, which is Slam. Slam is a poor man's body slam. It's 80 base power, 75% accurate, 20 power points. The 75% actually is garbage, so we're probably not going to use this move at all. There's a much better option out there, and you'll see that in our TM moveset. At level 40, we get Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage wouldn't be a horrible move if we just got that. If we got this at level 30 and had Slam at 40, I would probably be okay with using Dragon Rage, but by level 40, we don't need Dragon Rage. There's much more powerful options out there. Right now, if you're looking at the playthrough, we ran out of power points. So we ran out of we ran out of Wrap power points. So we have to deplete all of our Leers and all of our Thunder Waves before we can progress and take on the rest of the trainers on Route 3. So that's what happened. Fun stuff. So yeah, but Dragon Rage is actually the only dragon move we have in the game. So that's a good and a bad thing. So it's good because we are actually weak to dragon. So if there was like Dragon Breath in this generation, or Dragon Fang, or some kind of dragon move, it would be very, very powerful against us. So that would be a problem, but we don't have to worry about that. Dragon Rage, but it's also bad because we have 0 stab moves in this game. Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite have just no stab moves. Okay, if you don't know what stab is, it means same type attack bonus. You will not hear me say that a lot in this game, because we don't have any stab moves. Even if we did have Dragon Rage, it's the same type attack, but it doesn't get a bonus because it's a set damage move. It only does 40 damage every time, which there's a good and downside to that. It's useful, and you know exactly what you're going to get out of every battle, and it skips over a lot of defense buffs, things like that. It's nice. At level 50, we get Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is 150 base power, 9% accurate. I don't know why this isn't classified as a dragon move. Pretty much every Pokemon that it looks like a dragon gets it. Lance's entire team can get it. I don't know why. Like Gyarados, it's not a dragon move there. It's not a dragon move with Aerodactyl. I don't know. For some reason, it's for normal Pokemon. But we don't have to. We're not going to do much with that anyway. So not the biggest deal in the world. But Hyper Beam is very powerful, and it really just comes down to whether we want to use that later in the game. So the Elite Four, we're going to have an option of this or another move. One is, I think, more reliable, and I like it better. It has more power points too, so it lasts in like a long drag-out fight. It can actually be more useful. Whereas Hyper Beam, if you know it's a knockout, it's a great one-hit knockout, but the accuracy sucks. But that's our level-up moveset. Not a lot of attacking moves, not a lot of stab moves. If we had to play with just that, we probably wouldn't do too bad. But yep, that's it. And we're going to go over our TM moveset here in Mountain Moon. And now that we're in Mountain Moon, let's go ahead and go over the TM moveset. It's pretty decently broad with this Pokemon, so I'll go ahead and go over it as briefly as I can. But we start off, we go top to bottom. We get access to Razor Wind. It's a garbage move. I've gone over this before. It's 2 turns. It's 80 attacks. That's not too bad, but we're not normal types, so there's no stab in that. And also 75% accurate is pretty bad. And if I'm going to take 2 turns for a move, I better be more accurate than 75%, so probably not useful at all. Toxic is another move we're not going to use. I've yet to have a Pokemon playthrough where I found this move in any way relatively useful, so we're probably not going to use it either. So yeah, Toxic's not going to be used. Horn Drill not going to be used either. We do have the ability to speed up this Pokemon, but Horn Drill is 30% accurate regardless, and it's just not really reliable, and it's not a strategy that's consistent, so why go with that? Although you're going to see the mid-game of this Pokemon is not great, so maybe Horn Drill maybe would have been more consistent for one battle that I could have used that for, and now I'm thinking about it, it wouldn't have been a bad strategy. But let's move on. Body Slam This is the reason why the move Slam is not useful. Body Slam is 85 base power, so it's already more powerful. It's 5 power higher, and it's also 100% accurate rather than 75% accurate. So very powerful. More power points. It's 15 power points, and this can carry us through the rest of the game, and has a propensity to paralyze. And it works well with our physical attack stat. So that's good about this move. So basically, the only physical move we have up until we get Body Slam is Wrap. So we go from Wrap to Body Slam. Massive, massive, massive difference. Okay. We get access to Takedown, which we're not going to use. We get access to Double Edge, which could have been used as like just a more powerful version. Would have worked well with our attack stats. That's why it's a viable option. But I think in this playthrough we just stuck with Body Slam. Now, Water Gun and Bubble Beam. We've already added Water Gun if you look at the playthrough. Water Gun is a 40 base power move, 100% accurate. Bubble Beam is a 65 base power move, 100% accurate. So Bubble Beam will eventually replace Water Gun. But what it does, it gives us a special move that we have a little bit more move variety. Now our lower stat is special, so it's not going to be as powerful as like a physical move. But eventually our special will kind of catch up to the physical attack. So we'll get that a little bit better. But 40 base power for Water Gun. 65 for Bubble Beam, 100% accurate on both of them. We also get access to Ice Beam. Now here's where I made a mistake in this playthrough, is I did not utilize Ice Beam early enough. I waited. So it's a kind of a fallacy I have where I try to save a move that I think will do better against the gym leader. So Bubble Beam is water, so I try to save it for Blaine. Whereas Ice Beam would probably be more powerful just because it's a more powerful move in general. Whereas Bubble Beam is always 65 base power, this is 95. So it's just kind of my false way of me looking at it, but it is what it is. Ice Beam, 95 base power. Blizzard's 120. We could use Blizzard if we want. We don't. I usually don't want to because it's not much different, but the accuracy just to me scares me. Hyper Beam we can get via TM. We might have been able to do that to fix some problems that we had in this playthrough. Maybe next time I may try it again and try that. Rage is not going to be used. It'd be nice early rather than Wrap or Rage and Wrap as a dual moves. Dragon Rage we could have added it via Tim. We didn't. Thunderbolts, 95 base power, 100% accurate. Very good move to add. Thunder, very good move to add. I'm going to pause this because I'm about to run out of time on it. So that went through a lot faster than I thought. I thought I had a lot more playthrough. Thunder, we're not going to add because it's horribly inaccurate. Mimic can help us mimic a move later in the game if we need to. I think we have a pretty good move set. We don't have to, but I'm probably going to get it regardless just to be safe. Double Team's Outlawed, Reflect. Could have been used, but I'd rather have more attacking moves and move coverage than higher defense. Bide gets used for a little bit in this playthrough. Fire Blast could have been useful, but with our low attacks, special wouldn't have been that useful. Ice Beam's just better, and I would have to remove any way to add it, so it doesn't make sense to add it. Swift is a move we could have used, but because we have Body Slam, we don't need it. Skull Bash, not going to use it. Rest might be used later in this game. Thunder Wave, not going to. It gets used via level up, not via TM, so we already have it. Substitute, not going to use, and Surf, not going to use. So you can probably take a look at this and predict our in-game moveset along with Agility. None of the other level up moves I think are going to make it to the end game except for Agility. And you can probably guess the other three out of this. So I just want to make sure I went over all those things. But looking at it, you're looking at what? Body Slam, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. Looks like the best end game moveset to me. And then you have Rest and Mimic for some rainy occasions, so to speak. And then obviously Agility so you can do the badge boost. So we're coming up against the last two battles here, and I just wanted to make sure I got through all that. That's why I paused it. I got a little bit talking too long-winded about Horn Drill, and you're going to see why. Whenever you see the mid-game explanation, you're going to understand why I'm contemplating what I could have done different, because the mid-game is very brutal. We're at 40 minutes, just about at 40 minutes right now. We're close to 40 minutes, and we're still not even through Mountain Moon. So that's how rough this Pokemon has been. Without having the variety of moves and about having better stats. So this is a slow level up. So just so you know, all of the last 4 playthroughs I've had with the legendary birds and Snorlax, all those are slow level up rate as well. But you see how those went better because we have better moves and better stats to compensate. So we move into Misty's gym, and we're going to go ahead and take on the swimmers in here, and we're going to take on Misty as well. There's no risk facing Misty. She has nothing that's super good against us. Water moves, I don't think we resist the water moves, but it doesn't do extra damage. It's like a neutral damage. So that's not going to hurt. So it doesn't hurt us to do that, and I'm using Thunder Wave just so we can wrap and we don't take as much damage back. So Misty's gem will grant us Bubble Beam, and we just want a slightly more powerful attack, because like I said, our special is not very high. So Water Gun plus a low special means it's not going to do much except against like rock type Pokemon or something. But Bubble Beam is a little more powerful, so we're going to replace Water Gun with Bubble Beam. We really can't remove other moves. I mean, maybe Thunder Wave, and we have like Bubble Beam and Water Gun, but I can't remove Agility. That'd be dumb, and Wrap isn't really smart to remove either, because we'd be playing so far into our special, and our special's bad. So let's lean into our, let's lean into the smart stats on this. So let's go ahead and face Misty. She's gonna come out with Staryu. Now with Staryu, we're going to go ahead, we should be going for Thunder Wave. We're going to go for Thunder Wave, Paralyze, very good. Go for Agility to up our attack. So we got the badge boost going. So we already have Brock's Gym. Brock's Gym gives us a boost in our attack stats. So every time we modify our stats, it's going to do a 12% boost. So we did Agility a few times, so there's a big boost in our attack stat. It probably just went back down because we just leveled up. A slow level up Pokemon, it levels up right in the middle of a Gym Leader battle. Awesome. So now we have Wrap. We're going to just wrap her until we win. Paralyze makes it so she goes second, and as long as we don't miss Wrap, we're not going to get much done back to us. And really, Starmie can just sit there and basically just get until we decide to knock her out. And Misty, I'd be pretty mad about that. Misty is some pretty cheesy strats, but guess what? I don't care. And we get the win, and we move on to our third rival fight. Our third rival fight. Come out with Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is getting a little bit stronger, so we're going to go for Thunder Wave. We're going to make sure we outspeed, and we're going to go for Wrap. You're probably thinking, why not go for Agility and up your attack? Well, we can go for Agility and up our attack, but I want to knock out Pidgeotto first. Pidgeotto just got us down to 19 health, and Abra's not going to do squat to us, so we're going to do Agility 3 times. It's going to boost our attack stat. It's going to actually make us outspeed the last couple Pokemon too. See, now we two-hit the Abra. It's actually a one hit, but it's like 3 stages, and then we get the knockout against Charmander. So we get the win, and we get a pretty easy win against our rival. Like I said, our rival is garbage, and this Pokemon is probably kind of designed to beat rivals. So now I want to go over this thing I go over every time I go on Nugget Bridge. Nugget Bridge gives you a prize at the end, so I'm going to give you guys a prize. There's some other Pokemon YouTubers out there I highly recommend. The two that got me into this is Scott's Thoughts and J-Rose 11. I took one thing from one and one from the other. So more of the playthrough style I do with Scott with the real time. With J-Rose doesn't have all the stats and stuff around. He just has more of the playthrough. So I've kind of leaned into that aspect. So I blended the two, and that's where I get a lot of it from. But those two kind of got me into YouTubing. Also, like right there's my card. So don't click on it. These aren't clickable, but there's a links down in my description for everyone on this list, I think, except maybe one, but you can always just go by going to the name listed here. So Eggsceptional is a good YouTuber. He does great Gen 3 content. Squidgy does great Gen 2 content. I've learned a lot from that. I'm going to get into Gen 2 content here soon. Mah-Dry-Bread, he plays through pretty much every iteration of Pokemon. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them. M&J TV talks about Pokemon and does more tier lists and does like what if scenarios of what if the team be if Brock was the champion or something like that. He does a lot of those. He also does M&J TV plays, where it actually does playthroughs. Gym Leader Matt does like scenarios, and his are very much optimized. So his are pretty good as well. Van Man hasn't posted in a while. I think he has like a third issue, but his videos are very good. So I still want to give him some love on that. I really enjoyed his videos. KangaskDan does a little more of the analytics of the game, so check him out. He did one where what Pokemon would he have and what would it take for him to, use every move in the game. The next one, he's a newer one. He does a great Dewandon 016. I probably pronounced that wrong. M Tiberius, pretty decent as well, pretty new. And then Smith plays Pokemon, does a lot of what if scenarios, and he's like he rebuilt a ROM about Crystal, where he fixed Crystal. He calls it Crystal Legacy. So those are a bunch of Pokemon YouTubers I recommend. And ahoy, mateys! We're on to the SSN, and we're going to pick up some significant upgrades for this Pokemon. Oh, upgrade, I should say. It's one upgrade. And that is the move Body Slam. We're going to fight this trainer here with the Nidoran male, and we're going to get Body Slam. Body Slam, right now, our only physical damaging move we have that works with our physical attack stat is Wrap. And it's 85 base power. It's not a lot of power points. It's 15 base. It's not 85 base power. I'm sorry, 85 accuracy, 15 base power. We're going to go with a 100% accurate 85 base power move that can paralyze the opposition. Much more powerful. Works way better with our attack stat. And that's going to be a huge upgrade for this Pokemon. Is it significant enough that it's going to make the middle of the game a lot easier? No, it's not. But we're about to see that here in a minute. But before we do that, let's take on rival number 4. Rival number 4 gets significantly easier with Body Slam, because now we got something like a one-hit Pidgeotto. We can two-shot the Eradicate, or one-shot Kadabra, because he's very frail for physical attacks. And I don't know if we're going to one-shot Charmeleon. We do with Bubble Beam. So we eradicate our rival pretty significantly, and we move on to Lieutenant Surge. Now, Dratini actually has a resistance to electric moves, so we shouldn't have any problems here. But let's go ahead and watch the battle and see what happens. So Sonic Boom is a set damage move. It does 20 damage every time you do it, so that was going to happen regardless. We do not have enough for one shot on the Electrode though, or a Voltorb, but we do on the Pikachu. And how many turns is it going to take us to knock out Raichu? Let's see here. Well, probably a 2-turn knockout. Nope, 3. We do get the Paralyze. We also get Paralyzed in the process, but we do get the win. A little closer than I like, and that's kind of the problem with this Pokemon, is a lot of these things are way too close. Closer than you like. So I'm actually showing this. I never show this part, and this is Rock Tunnel. Okay, in Rock Tunnel, we will be leveling up to Dragonair. Rather than just rushing through it, I'm just going to go over this while we go through the battle in Rock Tunnel. Now, Rock Tunnel is actually pretty nice because we actually have the moveset of Body Slam, Agility, Thunderbolt, and Bubble Beam. So we got something to cover everything. Grass types, water types, rock types. We're good to go on a lot of those things. But we're going to level up the Dragonair at the end of this tunnel, so I'll go to the stats for Dragonair. HP is 61, attack is 84. So attack is definitely still our best stat. Basically every stat goes up by 20. Defense was 45, now it's 65. Special was 50, now it's 70. Speed was 50, now it's 70. So every stat goes up 20. Is that super significant? Not really, because it doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. The stats can be great, but a lot of the moves we have are dependent on the opposition, not so much dependent on us. And what I mean by that is, if you, for example, we are fighting a Bulbasaur right now if you watch the screen. We don't have a move that's good against Grass type. Okay? So our stats are kind of irrelevant in that regard. We can have much higher stats, but we have no moves that are relevant to take out anything that, you know, is weak to, like Grass is weak to. We do get a move, Ice move, that's good for Grass, for example, but we just don't use it. Here is our battle against Boomer. Boomer, the hiker. Bubble Beam will one-shot all of his team. So this is what I mean. Bubble Beam's not been very powerful, but all of his rock-type Pokemon are 4 times weak to Water Gun, or a Bubble Beam. So that's the only reason why this battle goes the way it goes. And you're going to see that we have nothing against certain types, which is a gym leader coming up is going to be a headache. A big old headache. And that's why I wanted to go over this part with you, that just because our stats are increasing doesn't mean things get easier. Because a lot of this Pokemon is having a move that has a type advantage that we can exploit. And if we don't have the type advantage, we are then relegated to how good or bad our stats are. And as you're seeing, these stats aren't the greatest. Okay, there might be a playthrough in the future where I play through as just Dragonite, and we might have those stats a little bit higher, so maybe the rest of the game goes a little easier. But as of now, that's not the case. And right now we're in a position where we're not one-shotting a lot. Like right there, Pidgey is weak to Thunderbolt, so that's why it's a one-shot. But it has nothing to do with anything other than type mismatch. And we evolve into Dragonair, very good. And we move on to the Rocket Game Corner. Now, Rocket Game Corner is nothing really significant in here, and I do want you to take notice of the time. We are almost at 1 minute, or 1 hour. And in the last few playthroughs, we didn't even get to an hour. Actually, the last one I played through as was Moltres, and he beat the game in 1 hour and 5 minutes. And he wasn't exactly fast either. So we're going to go ahead and fight Giovanni. Now, I wanted this battle very cocky, and you're going to see a lot of this stuff in the mid game. So the way I do my clips now is I actually break it up into certain segments of the game, or like somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. If it's succeeding that, I usually don't like to have a clip that long. But the middle segment here that goes over the mid game is 15 minutes long, and I'm going over that right now. That's the clip I'm in. It's actually 15 minutes and some seconds. And the reason why I decided to do this is because I need to show you guys the struggle of this Pokemon. So I just lost to Giovanni number 1. I haven't lost to Giovanni number 1 in so long. Okay? And we do get the win, but I haven't lost Giovanni in so long, and it was very eye-opening to me. Losing to Giovanni. It is what it is, but kind of annoying. Losing to Giovanni because he's usually garbage, but we didn't heal before he came into the battle, and we got a little overzealous and overconfident, and now we're going to face our 5th rival. Our 5th rival, we pretty much have everything for all of his Pokemon, something for all of his Pokemon except for Execute. Thunderbolt, we'll knock out Pidgeot in one shot. Agility, we're going to set up on old Execute here. We're going to go for Body Slam, and it's going to be a 2-shot. He keeps missing Hypnosis, thank goodness. Now we level up, so all that badge boosting I just did is worthless. Thunderbolt's a 1-shot on Gyarados. We're going to 1-shot the Kadabra with Body Slam. And Charmeleon will be a 2-shot with Bubble Beam. Now this is where the point where Bubble Beam is 65 base power, so we're kind of outpacing its power. So that's where we're at right now in the game. So we beat our rival and we move on to KangaskDan. Now the problem with KangaskDan is we're just not ready for KangaskDan. We have nothing that's effective against Koga. We don't have a psychic move for his poison type Pokemon. And honestly, just to get the Koga is going to be a problem because he has a lot of powerful psychic Pokemon that have high special attack, and we don't have high special. So that battle happened. I'm like, there's no way I'm ready for this. So we're going to go ahead and just go fight Cobra Kai. We're just trying to get ahead of the game here. We're going to start losing a lot, and it doesn't help us here either, so you'll see. But we're going to go into Cobra Kai, and I'm kind of going to talk about a little bit of methodology here. So, like I said, the way I used to do this a long time ago, about maybe 2 months ago, I used to just put it together, have one clip of the playthrough, and then I would do the voiceover all in one go. And it was very stressful, and here's the reason why. I have 2 kids. Sometimes kids will get up, they need a drink, they need whatever. I have a younger one, might need a diaper change or just needs held for a couple minutes, and it would interfere, and I'd have to restart the entire voiceover. Now I break it up into usually about like between 5 and 10 minute segments, and so I have like 4 different segments that are about 9 minutes long, and that ends up being our playthrough. So that has changed the playthroughs and voiceovers a lot better for me. And I also do this at 4 in the morning. So if you're watching my videos and you listen to me do my voiceover, odds are, and there's 1 or 2 occasions in the history of this channel when my kids and wife go out of town or whatever for the weekend, and I do this like at 7 o'clock at night. It doesn't happen very often, but it's happened like once or twice. But I have over almost 150, 300 videos on this channel. Very few of them happen during that circumstance. A lot of my videos happen between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. The playthroughs, the voiceovers, the editing, all that stuff's done in that time frame. And that's, I'd say pretty much every morning. Some mornings I'm sick, like yesterday morning I didn't do much because I wasn't feeling good. But that's the methodology, and that's what happens when I do my stuff. So if you're watching this is done super early in the morning while my wife and kids are sleeping, so I don't interrupt family time, and this is usually done before I leave for work at 7:30. So, and now we're fighting the karate master of the dojo, and he beats us. He beats us because we're not prepared. We keep being overzealous and overconfident with this Pokemon by going into battles not healed, like we lost to Giovanni that way, or we just lost to this guy who's not even a real gym leader that way. But we're going to 2-shot him with Thunderbolt and Body Slam, and then we're going to have Hitmonchan come out. He ain't going to do much to us. Comet Punch isn't very powerful, but it's going to do 3 Body Slams, knock it out, and we're going to actually get a Pokemon to do Strength now. Not important to the game, but I needed the extra levels from this, so I thought, okay, we're going to go back, and we're going to actually go try Erica. Now, I could have fixed a lot of this mid-game stuff pretty easy if I'd have probably just done one move. But I was trying to save Bubble Beam to beat a certain gym, and I probably could have just done Ice Beam and it would have been just as effective. So, we're fighting Erica, sorry. We Body Slam 2-shot on the Victory Bell. We did get poisoned, which is good, because now we can't get paralyzed or put to sleep. So Body Slam will 2-shot the Vileplume and 2-shot every Pokemon. Erica's pretty easy with this Pokemon. Would have been a lot easier if I had just taken Ice Beam and put it on this Pokemon. Now we're going to go back and try Koga again. And as you're seeing, you don't see the graphic for Koga. So that means we don't beat Koga. That's what that means. It's not that I got lazy and didn't want to do it. It's like we did not beat Koga here. And we're not going to beat Koga at all. Now, the first battle here is best case scenario. We were able to set up 3 agilities. We didn't get any lowering of accuracy, no poison. So we knock out the coughing. The muck isn't too bad. We still have a lot of health going into the last Pokemon. Sludge doesn't do it too much to us. But Wheezing is just really bulky, and we just don't do a lot of damage. We do Paralyze. We get the lucky Paralyze that we needed there. Thunderbolt, and he gets a Sludge that critical hits and knocks us out. And we don't get anywhere close to that kind of event again. Like I said, we didn't get poisoned, and we did not get smoke screened. So we didn't get a poison, which affects us every turn, so the fact that we're not knocking out one hit does matter there. And we did not get smoke screen, which smoke screen lowers our accuracy every time it happens. So like right here, first attack, smog poisons us. Then smoke screen. So now accuracy is lowered and we're poisoned. And it's all about attrition at this point. And he has a bunch of bulky Pokemon that I can't one-shot, and we're poisoned. And now evasiveness has gone up on the muck, and like I said, we still can't knock it out. And so I'm just looking at this like this is a kind of a no-win scenario here. We can't heal in battle either. Unless we can one-shot the coughing and then one-shot the wheezing, we're not going to win this battle. So, fun stuff. We're going to try for a third one. Are we going to get the same luck as the first attempt we had? Probably not. So let's go ahead and watch this third attempt. We're going to go for agility. Smog does nothing. Smokescreen lowers our accuracy. Awesome. Goes for X attack. Not the worst thing ever. So Body Slam still not a one-shot. It's okay. If we just hit that, we'd probably be okay. Another smokescreen. Another smokescreen. So now our accuracy is totally in the tubes. Okay, down the tubes. And Body Slam knocks out the muck. We still have full health, but we're just not hitting anything. Body Slam. I need one more Body Slam and I get to the final Pokemon. Nope. Bubble Beam knocks it out, so we're at the final Pokemon, the Wheezing. He's going for X attack, so he's not going to miss too much of his attacks. We miss repeatedly. And Self-Destruct knocks us out. Awesome. Critical hit, self-destruct. Everything Wheezing does is getting a critical hit. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to go fight our rival right now because we're not going to beat Koga no matter how many times we attempt it without more levels. So we're going to go ahead and face our rival. Thunderbolt's a one-shot on the Pidgeot. Execute. Now again, if I had Ice Beam, this battle would be trivial because Execute would be a one-shot with Ice Beam. But instead, I let him linger around and I tried to set up on Execute. I didn't want to set up on Pidgeot because Pidgeot has Sand Attack and I didn't want my accuracy lowered. Okay, but Execute doesn't have anything other than paralyze moves and sleep moves and like what's it called, the Leech Seed. So it's gonna suck health off you. So now we're not gonna go first at all, and we just got our best move disabled. So awesome, and we're about to get knocked out. Awesome again. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna lose this. It's gonna restart. Hopefully we don't get paralyzed this time, and we're gonna try this battle again. So here we go. Trash all warmed up. Here we go. Let's go, Trash. Pidgeot comes out. We want to go for Thunderbolt. Okay, one agility, good. Let's just knock him out before something bad happens. And we don't get the one shot with Thunderbolt on a flying type Pokemon. We're 4 levels higher. Isn't that awesome? Body Slam is going to be a 3-shot. We do Paralyze, but he paralyzes us right back. So amazing. And Gyarados comes out. He'll be a 1-shot as long as we don't, you know, miss our turn because of Paralyze. Excuse me. Body Slam one more time. Nope. And we're going to get knocked out again. So 2 losses to our rival when we were 6 levels higher. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. And I was contemplating adding Ice Beam here and getting rid of Bubble Beam. Okay. And again, I fall into this falsehood where I think Bubble Beam is going to be super effective against Blaine. It's not, because we don't have anything that boosts it, makes it more powerful. So that's the problem I'm having, is I keep relying on that move. When if I gone for Ice Beam, a lot of this mid-game stuff would be better, and the only struggle I might have is Blaine. Instead, I'm reversing that, where every other battle is a struggle, and Blaine might be a little bit more difficult. But by then, I can badge boost more, I can do a lot more things, whereas Ice Beam would compensate for a lot of the things I'm lacking in the middle game here. So it is what it is. You know, you live, you learn, and I'm 2 Pokemon away from finishing 151, and I'm still learning things about Generation 1. But we finally get the win against our rival. And, I mean, it wasn't a clean win. It wasn't, like, super great. But we're going to move on to Giovanni. We got a little bit of revenge on the old Giovanni here. Giovanni whipped this pretty good in the first battle. So now we're going to whip him pretty good in this battle. We're going to do agility, so make sure we outspeed. It's going to also boost our physical attack, which I don't know why we're worried about that, because until we beat Blaine, we can't get a boost in special. So, and KangaskDan comes out, and it's going to be a 2-shot. Now our health is very low. We really need to one-shot these next couple Pokemon. Rhyhorn will be a one-shot. I'm not worried about Rhyhorn. It's the Nidoqueen. She's very bulky, and it does a little less than half. And Body Slam cleans house. So, and now that we've finished off Giovanni, we're going to go take another run at Koga. See if we can beat Koga and then progress to the game. What I really should have done is just fight Sabrina. We have a good physical damaging move. Psychic moves don't do a lot to us. I should have just gone for Sabrina, knock that out of the way, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go for Koga now. And I didn't heal, so we're smart. I'm super smart. So now we're going to try this again. We're going to go heal really fast. There we go. Now we're healed. Takes a couple seconds to do. I don't know why we didn't do it before the battle. But, and this is just kind of a combination of, it kind of shows the frustration level I'm having where I'm forgetting to do little things like heal. Which has happened a couple times in this playthrough, where I forgot to heal before the battle. So, Koga, here we go. We are now significantly higher leveled. We're going to go for agility. 2. He goes for sludge, not a big deal. Sludge again. Now we're going to body slam, and it's not a one-shot still, but we're getting a 2-shot. Very good. Muck comes out. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt does not knock it out. We get a paralyze, and does nothing except for next attack. Now we're going to go for coughing. It'll be a 2-shot, and we're at a good spot. We are our defense raised. We have everything raised. We are poisoned now. Goes for self-destruct. We survive. That's what we needed. We just need to survive a self-destruct. If it had happened the 3rd attempt, we'd have been moved on from Koga. So we get this. We finally get the win against Koga. We're moving on. It's an hour and 24 minutes in. Very frustrating part of the game, but we move on to Blaine. And this is the entire reason why I hung on to Bubble Beam, was to beat Blaine. Not super effective, not super great move, but he is weak to Bubble Beam. We do set up with agility. And we get Leered, which is great because it actually boosts our stats as well. It doesn't boost our special, so it doesn't help us in that regard. And we leveled up, so we just lost all that stuff. So Bubble Beam is a for sure 2-shot on everyone except for maybe the Arcanine. Body Slam does 50% damage. Actually does less than that. And knockout with Bubble Beam. Stick with Bubble Beam, JD. Just stick with Bubble Beam. Roar does nothing. Bubble Beam will be a... Oh, I went for Body Slam. And I almost get knocked out by takedown. Jesus. Okay. We get the win. It's not a convincing win, but we finally get the win. And now what's great is we can use the badge boost and boost our special in a battle. We need our special boosted. So that was the significance of beating Blaine with speed. I'm sorry, Koga was speed and Blaine was special. And now we can badge boost those things. So we're badge boosting right now. Make us faster. And it's going to do the badge boost with the rest of our moves. Body Slam should cook his whole team. It should cook and wreck the rest of his team. Nope, it does not cook the Mr. Mime. Dang, Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime. That's a playthrough I got to replay again. I should have gone for Ice Beam. This is a bug type after all. And then is Alakazam a one-shot? It is not, but he doesn't knock us out with Psy Beam. Very good. We get the win against Sabrina and her whip. And we move on to Giovanni, and we're finally getting to Giovanni. I don't know what's going on here. Oh well, I'm not worried about it. There we go. And I clicked the graphic too long. Alright, not a big deal. And Ice Beam should steamroll his entire team once we do a little bit of setup, just to be safe. And here we go, Ice Beam, one shot, very good. Ice Beam, one shot, very good. We need to make sure we outspeed that Doug Trio, it's very fast. Ice Beam, one shot, very good. There's 3 down. Nidoking is 4. And number 5 is right on. It's a one shot, it's very good. We move on to our 7th rival fight right before the league. And with that, our 7th rival fight, like I said before, this Pokemon is actually pretty well built to beat your rival's team. It has a move for everything. Okay? It has a move for everything. It's just built that way. Okay? Comes out with Pidgeot. Thunderbolt will beat the Pidgeot. Now, we're going to set up because it no longer has Quick Attack. It no longer has a really good physical damaging move. Wing Attack does like 10. So Thunderbolt's a one-shot on the Pidgeot. Okay? Rhyhorn comes out. Ice Beam's a one-shot. Very good. Now, if Execute comes out, Ice Beam's a one-shot. Very good. Gyarados is going to be a one-shot. Extremely good. Okay, Alakazam should be a one-shot with bot. Nope, I went for Ice Beam because I'm stupid. And now he went for Reflect, so not going to be an easy knockout, but we get the knockout there. And now Thunderbolt will be a 2-shot on the Charizard because he's flying type. And we take a decent amount of damage from Slash, but not that bad. And we move on to the Elite Four. Now, I wanted to show this before we get into the Elite Four stuff. Not on Victory Road, but when we get to the Elite Four Indigo Plateau, we use rare candies and level up as far as we can, where we won't be able, either if we have the badge boost, which we do, we only use about 8 rare candies and leave 3 left over, so that we can level up before battles in the Elite Four. Okay, so that's like the strategy there. So in the process of doing that, we evolved into Dragonite, and this is the stats with Dragonite we get. We get a boost in our hit points at 91, attack is 134, so that's the biggest jump, is we go from 94 to 134. That's a huge 40-point jump in our attack, so that goes up significantly. Defense is 95, special is 100, and speed is 80. Now that's the base stat total. We do have a slightly different total that we get because we give rare candies and we give vitamins and such like that. So here's our stats for this Pokemon going into the league. Level is 58. Okay, I think we were at level 50 when we got here. We use 8 rare candies, and our health hit points 208. Attack is 198, so it's very good. It works well with Body Slam. Defense is 145, which is respectable. A lot of things won't be able to do a lot of damage to us unless we're weak to it, which is only dragons and ice. So Lorelei is can be tough if we're not prepared for it. Speed is 138. Most things will outspeed with that, and we also have agility to boost our speed. And then special is 155. And 2 of our attacks, Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, will be used very well in conjunction with special. So let's go ahead and go over our moveset. And I pretty much just went over all of it, but we have Ice Beam, Body Slam, Thunderbolt, and Agility. There's not a lot of expendableness with this moveset. You gotta have Ice Beam to get by Lance, which I guess strategically you could get rid of Ice Beam, use like a Mimic or something, and then replace it with Blizzard by the time you get to Lance. But Blizzard is not as reliable as Ice Beam, and I don't think we're gonna need the power of Blizzard over the accuracy of Ice Beam. I think it's just better to be more reliable. If it was like it was going to be a drastic difference in like one-shots versus non-one-shots, maybe, but I think it's going to do about the same. So keep the more reliable move. Body Slam obviously works well with our attack stat. If we'd have got Hyper Beam, we had the option to learn Hyper Beam. We didn't, but if we got Hyper Beam, we would have a more powerful move. It just wouldn't be as accurate. Body Slam does have, starts 50 or is it 15? I think it's 15 power points. And we got all the way up to 18, so that's good. And then Thunderbolt will be very effective. It's effective against the champion, it's effective against Lorelei, it's effective against everyone. So Thunderbolt's very effective in the Elite Four. And then Agility will boost our speed, but it'll also do the badge boost with our attack and our physical attack and our special and our defense. So all those things will get raised when we initiate Agility. So without further ado, let's go ahead and face the Elite Four. The first member of the Elite Four should be the hardest, which is Lorelei. Now, being the fact that she is an Ice-type trainer, it does mean that a lot of our Pokemon have dual typing of Ice and Water, so meaning we have a very effective move against all of our Pokemon. Okay, so we're going to go for Thunderbolt. It's not a one-shot on the Dugong. What I should have done is just gone for... I got smart here and understood the AI is going to go for Rest. So like now it gives me time to set up Agility, and knock out with one shot with the Dugong. Cloyster has low special and is weak to electric, so one shot. Slowbro is weak to electric as well, one shot. Jinx is weak to electric as well, so I'm going to go for Body Slam on Jinx. It's a one shot. And I'm sorry, she's not weak to electric because she is Ice type solely and Psychic. But Body Slam is good because she's weak, and then Lapras is a one shot. Now we move on to Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. We're going to full restore, and we shouldn't have to do much against Bruno. We're going to do a little bit of setup and then sweep. Ice Beam should be significant enough to beat his entire team. So let's go ahead and go over that. We're going to go for Agility 1, Agility 2, Slam does nothing, and Agility 3, and Ice Beam will be a one-shot in the Onix. Is Body Slam, it's not a one-shot. Ice Beam can be scary though because we are weak to electric and it can freeze us. Okay, Body Slam, it's not a one-shot. Man, we're so close. Onix will be a one-shot with Ice Beam. And Machamp comes out. Ice Beam will be a two-shot on Machamp. I don't know why I went for Body Slam. Just take the two-shot. But we beat Bruno pretty handily. We don't talk about it very much. And we move on to Agatha. Now Agatha can be scary. She has the Agatha lottery where she can poison you, paralyze you, put you to sleep, or confuse you. or do all those things at once. Now right here we have no chance on Hyper Beam, we're not going to. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take on Agatha. We are saving before this one. This one will be a little more precautious. Her first Pokemon can wreck you and does not give you a chance to sweep her team. So we don't have anything super effective against her, so it's just about a little bit of brute forcing our way through it. So first we're going to come out with Agility. Nightshade does a decent amount of damage, does 56 damage to be exact. Thunderbolt is a 2-shot at this point, so very good. Gengar is pretty scary. Golbat's going to be a 1-shot. Haunter should be a 1 or 2 shot. Nope, it's going to be a 2-shot. Very good, get the knockout. Arbok comes out. Body Slam is a 1-shot on the Arbok. So now we have the last Gengar, which the last Gengar can't really do much to us. Can't use Dream Eater, can't use anything like that, but it can use Poison, which is very effective. And now we're just in a healing loop, but we outpace her, so we get the win. We're going to move on to Lance, the Dragon Trainer. Now, you'd think this would be a bad matchup, but he has no Dragon moves. And we have the advantage of having the right move set and the right typing and things like that. So we have Thunderbolt, which is going to obliterate Gyarados. Okay, it's going to flat out obliterate Gyarados. Okay, and then we have Ice Beam, which is going to obliterate the rest of his team. Okay, so we just got to get a little bit of setup in, and we're going to sweep the entire team. We've got to make sure we outspeed that Aerodactyl. Our Aerodactyl is very fast. Agility, 1. Agility, 2. We got 2 Dragon Rages thrown against us, 3 Dragon Rages thrown against us, but Thunderbolt's a 1-shot, very good. And now we should be able to sweep with Ice Beam. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very easy sweep of Lance. The Dragon Trainer, super weak to ice. Now we just have 1 trainer left to fight, and that would be our rival fight. So let's go ahead and level up. Let's go ahead and use our elixirs. We don't have to change up our moves or anything. We just gotta save really quick just to be safe, but we don't really need to. Everything he has, we have something super effective against every one of his Pokemon. We just gotta get the setup on the first Pokemon just to be safe. And here we go. So he's gonna come out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot is the perfect Pokemon to set up on. Agility 1, Agility 2, and Agility 3. He's taking in. He's glowing, which means he's about to do Sky Attack, but we get the knockout. Very good, 1 knockout. Body Slam is a 1-hit knockout. Right on Ice Beam will be a 1-shot. Very good. Executor will be a 1-shot. Oh no, it won't, but we do get the 2-shot on it. It does a lot of damage, but I don't know why we didn't get the knockout. Thunderbolt, very good. And now we have 1 Pokemon left. Thunderbolt will be a 2-shot, full restore. Dang, okay. We'll get the 1-shot this time. We get the 1-shot on the second attempt, and we knock out our rival, his final Pokemon, and we beat our rival. Now I'm just clicking, trying to get the best time possible. I haven't talked about the time in a long time, but here's what we're ending up with. We're ending up with just under an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 38 minutes, and 20-some seconds. So let's see what we get here. At level 63. And we end up winning the game at 1 hour and 38 minutes and 25 seconds. So I thought I said between 1 hour and 20 and 1 hour and 30 minutes, so I was dead wrong. There could have been ways I could have sped this up. So you heard a little bit about while I was talking throughout the playthrough. I could have possibly gone for like Horn Drill. I could have possibly gone for some other strategies. Maybe Double Edge would have been a better move to have for a while. But I think Ice Beam would have been a drastic change. It would have made some battles a lot more consistent, and I think that's what the problem was. There's no consistency of what I was going to do, battle in and battle out. Between fights, there's nothing was consistent for me. So it all depended on typing. So Ice Beam would have been a more powerful move to have consistently rather than Bubble Beam. So, but that's the playthrough. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This was a very grueling playthrough. Next week will be a playthrough with Mewtwo, and this is not me trying to discourage you from watching. I'm just going to give you a heads up. Mewtwo is going to be pretty boring. Mewtwo is a slow level up group just like this, but it comes with way more stats, way better stats, and a very good move set that synergizes well with the Pokemon. You start off with Confusion, stat move, and Psychic, more powerful stat move. Okay, that's what they start the game off with Mewtwo. So it's going to be a very, 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 I'm going to say boring because it's going to be a lot of one-shots, but it's going to be a very quick playthrough. And what's going to be nice about this playthrough with Mewtwo is after this one, it's going to be very relaxing. Okay, because this one was very frustrating with nothing being consistent. This one will be very consistent. It's just going to be how fast can we beat the game and how many battles can I skip in that process to make it as fast as humanly possible. So that's what we're coming up with when it comes to the next playthrough. And then I have only one after that, and that's Mew. And then we finished all 1 through 151 in Gen 1. Now, I'm still going to do some replays of some. I have some what-if scenarios I'm going to do. I have some Versus series come out. So all those things are in the works. So make sure you check those things out and stay tuned. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe so you can get notified when all that stuff happens. I also have shorts on this channel. I don't know if you've looked at my short list, my shorts, but I have a ton of shorts where it's just gameplays of just clips of gameplays. I also do memes. I have Harry Potter memes. I have Pokemon memes. I have Bob's Burgers memes. So it's just a bunch of random stuff thrown on there. So I recommend you check it out. Let me know what you think. This is JD. This is JD's Nerdverse. And I'll see you guys on Monday with the Mewtwo prediction. Have a good one, and I'll see you then.